What's going on in the world, man? You know it had to be serious. I'm out here in my salt and pepper today to talk about the shit that's going on in this crazy fucking planet. That boy Cat Williams started it off with a bang. He said, "This will be the year that all them big dick bandits gonna come out." I was like, what is he talking about? But I was like, wow, this shit is going down, man. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's everybody. Niggas trying to get Puff. What's his name? Adam Calhoun. That nigga makes an apology diss song record message. It's going down, man. You know, you don't know who's who. You don't know what to do around this bitch, man, you know? The elephant in the room on anybody's like everybody want to talk about Diddy. And then everybody wants to jump against Diddy. Now, how do I feel about that shit? The truth is, I don't know how the fuck I feel about that shit. On one hand, I kind of feel like, man, that nigga there kind of done fucked up. So when I was in Atlanta, I was hearing some crazy shit. And then I see one of the guys that I was hearing crazy shit about kind of support him. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So I'm not going to say his name, but he sung the song, "Me Being the Trap and It's Going Down." But I heard things that he did, you know, and it's kind of measuring up with the shit that I heard Puffy kind of people saying he did, you know. The accusations were that, you know, he might have sucked a dick for his deal, or he might have let somebody suck his dick for a deal. And it's very consistent on what they say the behaviors of Puff is. You know, I'm not going to say the name, but I said the song, you know. There you go. So if you see that guy sticking up for him, you know, kind of overly or a little bit, like if you see a lot of people kind of, you know, I don't know. I probably, like I say, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be one of those episodes that's gonna be teetering right down the line because I'm kind of gonna say some stuff that's I heard or I seen or you know, but we gonna go there. We gonna go down through there. So if you hear stuff like back in the past and you see stuff now in the present, you're only going to be able to come to your what word am I looking for? Your realization of what happened. So I'm not saying that none of this shit is real. I'm just saying this is what I saw or what I heard or what I went through. So I'm looking at the Puffy thing right now, and this little Rod dude, I was looking for when he was fucking with him. And the only time that he was fucking with Puff is when like none of this shit is kind of relevant. So he's making accusations about the J-Lo thing, about the purse, about like she gave him the gun and all that. And I'm like, wow, why is all this coming up now? All the stuff coming up now is the shit that he did yesterday. So it's just like, you know, what are we talking about? Are we going to get him for the shit that was happening when he was cool and chicks do things for dudes when they cool? Trust me, I used to be cool. And hopefully I don't get into trouble for the stuff that I did with girls when I was cool. But it looks like a lot of stuff that was happening when they was cool, and now if Puff not considered cool and that bread is leaving, which is some shit saying that right now, man, this nigga owe like 8 different banks, you know? And that's big right now. Like he's giving everybody their masters. That goes a little bit of money every day. And from what he was making about $90 million a month. Puff was. So if you start giving niggas they royalties back, and then you have these three huge houses, a jet, and whatever you want to do, and you starting to lose royalty money, and then you sell um, your biggest investment, which probably was Ciroc, right? And if you get that taken away, man, that's going to cut a big portion of your money away. So you're not going to be able to get away with shit that you can't get away and grease people how you used to, or treat people how you used to. So that's going to come tumbling down. So all the people that was used to getting money from you and you can't give it to them, they're going to turn their back. Or if you can't do stuff for them, they're going to turn their back. And now you're going to have like a small portion of bread on you. And you're going to see your stuff just go to demise, and all the bad stuff that, people might have thought you did, or I don't know, if they're going broke and you doing good, and people going to be like, hey, it's weird that, New York, New York is weird that they did this little, they made this like a year of the whoever wanna file a sexual, what they call you can't really say that no more, but a domestic abuse claim against you. They gave him a year to come back and do it. And hey, man, I mean, I'm not saying, trust me, man, if he did something, or if anybody did something back, come back and say it. But were they complicit when they did it? And why did they stay around for so long? So you telling me somebody who did all this, or was all this stuff was getting done to, they was getting X amount of money. So it was cool when they was getting money. And so if money ran out, or they money ran out, they want to come and tell the story now. I mean, is that right? Were you engaging this for money, or were you engaging in this because he was going to beat you up? I don't know what they was engaging in it for at that time. If everything going to be about, yesterday when he had bread, and now they coming out about it now, what is the difference? It's money. So everybody that was, complicit and was like, wanted to be on the in crowd and did things, if they're a female, they did things to get on the in crowd, or they might have came on to it to, we don't know what happened, but we're going to persecute them like we know what happened. And I'm like, okay, so now he don't have money and everything is cool. And now we don't have money and everything is, goddamn, he did this shit, And I don't know if that's right. But if he forcibly raped somebody, it's such a gray area. It's just hard to see it, and it's hard. It's funny how people just all of a suddenly knows what happened, and this nigga's walking around here free. That's kind of odd too. And the way they did it. So right now, okay, you have the Cassie lawsuit. And I want to be correct. I did pretty much a lot of research on this before I spoke today. But the Cassie thing, that shit there seemed like, he's fucked up. He seemed like he fucked up. He really do. He really seemed like if I'm gonna give you my opinion on that shit, man, and how fast he settled, man, bro, come on, man. I mean, it's too many videos. It's too many videos that you let her put out there, and then it's too many. If everybody ain't lying on that one, they'll Puff. I think if they prove some shit that you did with Cassie went too far, then you know what I'm saying. But all this other shit, maybe, but Why now? That's my thing. On some of them, why now? Like the little Rod thing, I'm like, why now, Bubba? You stay with him for everything. You probably live with him all this time, and it seemed like you was trying to plot on this from everywhere. You were just taking pictures and all this shit, but you were still reaping all the rewards and all the stuff for getting for it, man. People like that, man. You kind of gotta know what you. I mean, look at the guy. Looks like he's kind of off. To be honest, in my opinion. Monkey see, monkey do. That's just my opinion. But the one thing, if I just see a whole bunch of battery charges like Cassie, it was battery, 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 battery. It didn't end with battery, battery, and he didn't pay me for doing my music. You know what I mean? Or I didn't get the producer of the year like he promised me. Like that was actually in Rod D's fucking lawsuit. Like he didn't get all the exposure that was supposed to come and all of the glitz. Or I did this right here and I didn't get paid for the production. I don't know what that has to do with groping. Why would that and groping be in the same thing to me? That shit about the money and what he didn't do for the production should have been left out of it. And for that is concerned, the reason why it was brought into it is because it's a civil suit. So sometime, man, you got to watch those civil suits. They all about money and it's all about lying, especially if it's the second one. I mean, it came so fast after Cassie. Like I say, I think Cassie should have got broke off. Like what she did, that was kind of obvious. Like it seemed like that nigga was fucked up on that one, man. And if Cassie got a brother out there, they probably should go fuck him up. But everything that comes after that, man, it's going to be a wave of sorting. It's going to be a shit show. Nobody's going to know what is what. Nobody going to know if he did it or don't, because the shit is not adding up, man. I mean, he's suing the Lucian dude. He's showing that Ethiopia girl, and they never been there. He said he saw them come to the place. And what? Come on, Bubble. Really? I mean, they disputed that shit, and they got that shit remitted really fast. Redacted, remitted, whatever. I know they had to refile and take the majority of that shit that the lawyer put in there. So we don't know what happened with that Puffy thing, and I think people kind of, I can't say reacting too soon because I mean, you could see the signs. You could see some signs of it being a little fucked off. I think Puffy done kind of got maybe, if in my opinion, I think that he thought he was untouchable. And and God bless him. And if anything that he did, man, it was fucked up because they say, man, whatever happens in the dark should come to the light. Just trust me, I'm not trying to stick up for him. I'm just trying to stick up for the people that's in that position, and stuff like this happen too often. Like you could just see it, and it's usually, I hate to call a spade, but it usually happens to prominent brothers after they buy shit, big things. And like I say, I don't want to say that's what this is, because he might need to be producing for R. Kelly now. Right there with him. He might need to be doing that. You know what I mean? I think I don't think we've seen enough to prosecute him like that. I mean, so he had what, three bitches that he was paying a monthly fee to, and they calling them sex slaves. Okay. One of them was 50 Cent, bitch. Did you know? Did you know that, Burr? One of them's 50 Cent, bitch. One of them was Young Miami, and another one was another. I think she's Jane Doe or something right now. Is it somebody else? Who was the other one? Was it three? It's just those two that we know right now? Yeah, two right now. And I think at one point Miami was making $500,000 a month. and the other one might have made 250,000. Now, is a sex slave somebody that you could fuck or somebody you make fuck other dudes? And that's the deal. So I'm like, okay, what is the sex slave thing? Is there a sex slave or some bitches that he just here go your allowance? I think that's kind of what it was, and I think they kind of throwing it off because me and my son, we have a artist that's going through something very very similar, and we know they was trying to give him a life. So very similar. What he's getting charged for right now is sex trafficking, right? I think that's the big thing that they're talking about right now. So I think the actual definition of sex trafficking. Well, I'm not gonna say the definition. I'm gonna give you the what I think it is. So from how I read the definition, it's somebody that you get to go against their will to make them perform, or like I say, anything against their will to traffic them and take them from a state to another state. And especially if they're a minor. If so, let's say in R. Kelly thing, in Illinois, a minor is 17, right? But if he took somebody, what's right next to him, Michigan? If he took somebody to Michigan and they're 18, then that's sex trafficking because they was not the age, and the federal age is 18. So if you take anybody that was not the age and you kind of, you fuck them or whatever, then that's a rape and it's a sex trafficking, and there goes your charges. Whenever you have somebody that's in your state, be good, but when you take them to another state, it might be 18, but it really don't matter. If it could be 17 and you take them to 16, it don't matter because the national and the federal law is 18. I know I probably done screwed a whole bunch of y'all up on that one, but that's how they getting people now, is the trafficking, because people really don't know how it works, man. And I mean, and that's kind of the big thing right now, this trafficking thing. So that's where he's in trouble for. If anybody that he was on a bus that was 17 and they rode from New Jersey to New York, his ass is grass. Straight up. That's just, he's done. And that probably easily happened. But right now, man, they said that it won't be any I don't know when we're gonna watch this or when this will be aired, but for as to date is to almost April 1st. Let's call it April 1st. Um from anything over that, man, they said that they're not gonna file anything. No criminal charges would be coming soon. So I guess they gotta go through all the videos and all that good stuff. But I just think people should do the research, man, before they make their judgment on it, because it's a lot of shit there. Then I see all the conspiracy theories. Oh man, this shit is with Epstein. And oh man, this is some QAnon, and I told you about that piece of parlor that got them babies under the basement. Man, that shit is crazy. But they just it's weird, man, and it's so much there and then it's so much not there. So you kind of gotta dive in that for yourself. Don't listen to everything that you hear, man. Go do the research before you start talking crazy. I was watching this Joyner Lucas song, and I was pretty excited, and I was like, oh damn, he got Jelly Roll on there. And then I'm listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, oh, yikes. Have you heard the song yet, bro? Oh, yeah, it was pretty. It came out, and it was like, okay, it's on this new album. And man, it's auto-tune. It sounds crazy, man. Like, it's like, I'm like, whoa. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's like, after he did the Save Me, it's like, I don't get what he's trying to do. And that's what happens, man. You kind of get caught in this trying to appease everybody, and then you lose you. Because if I remember, man, he was just what I remember from Jelly Roll. It was just this rapper that didn't make it until Upchurch came out and went good, and that's when he got good, and then he started singing, and then he found two or three songs that went good. Like "Save Me" is a really, really good song, and if you write a bunch of songs, you're gonna get one, and he got one. No, don't lie, that's a great song, "Save Me." But anything after that, wow, I don't know if there is. I mean, I don't know how his rapping really not that great. His singing is, I mean, in country, like I say, country man, really, what does it take to be a good singer? You know, what does it take to be a good singer in country? Look at Beyonce. She just came in and she took it. She just sung one, two songs, and they mad. They mad because it went number one. I'm like, oh yeah, that shit they ain't gonna be good at all, boy. They ain't gonna like that. Somebody coming in that could sing. I'm like, boy, that ain't gonna work. They gonna be mad at that. That shit gonna kick back and fly back real quick, man. I'm like, wow, how is that shit gonna fly? It is not gonna fly, man. And so I'm like, okay, how is that gonna go? And immediately she got pushed back from the radio station saying, this ain't country. How the fuck it ain't country? Why the fuck this? It sounds like, I mean, Taylor Swift and somebody, Katie, she had a lot of writers that were country writers that came in and helped her do that shit. But it's not country because of why? Tell me, she from Texas. There ain't nothing country from that. Is it the same reason she not country that Lil Nas X wasn't country? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I'm willing to bet my britches on that one. That the reason that she wasn't considered country is because the same reason that Lil Nas X wasn't considered country. And then the Beehive stung their ass like boom. Y'all gonna play this shit because I think she got like some radio people saying that we're not playing this and blah 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 because this ain't country. I really don't understand what is considered country. I thought I did after I produced a couple country songs and got them to do well, and then especially when I hear um Morgan Wallen's music have a lot of maybe what I would call hip hop sounds in it, and it'll go to number one. But whenever you hear somebody do with all of the country sounds, traditionally country sounds in it, and they do their thing that it's not country. Hmm. I wonder why, man. It's just like I say, man, that undertone, that nasty, racist undertone shit, man, always gonna show its face. Trust me. Especially when it got to do with country music. All you gotta do is say country. And then you will see the just the dirtiness of it. They try to clean that shit up, man, but please. It always come back. When it come back to we even could go to the whatchamacallit song that something you can't do that in my town, something in a small town. Try that in a small town. Come on, man. Please. Are you serious? Try what in a small town? Do what? Well, I mean, what does a small town do if they man, come on. I don't get that part. The the why. Like so you got what's her name? I forgot her name, but she did a song with K Michelle. She did a song with Justin Champagne. And it didn't do shit. You know? They just don't have they won't it's hard to get in there, man, having a tan. Just it's just not working. Just not working. And let's say so we look at the state of it right now. So Luke Combs just got a a Grammy or a song or the number one song, a whole bunch of shit for the Tracy Chapman remix. And Tracy Chapman didn't have nothing to do with it, or this and that, but it good and nothing to take from, man. He killed it. Not even gonna lie, he killed that shit. That shit was good, really good. But that was the first time a black female wrote a song and it won Song of the Year. She didn't sing it though. That's why I'm like, really? She didn't sing it, but they praising this shit like if you didn't know what happened, then you would think that a black chick won the shit and sung the shit, but nah, no, it didn't go down like that. But it's the first time they won it. They made it a big, 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 big fucking deal. I'm like, wow, really? Come on, just look at it. It's right there in your face, man. Just that's just what it is, man. I mean, that shit just don't work for brothers, you know? The country stuff don't. Everybody always want to say, you say, oh, man, but they never want to bring back to one guy. How about Neville? Aaron Neville? Man, come on. Really? That's just like saying I got a black friend, basically. Basically. So what I think about Killer Mike winning, sweeping the Grammys, man, I tell you what, that probably was one of the best things that I have ever, ever, ever seen in a minute, man. I was like, okay, I really, really love this album. So, um, let's see what happens. I was driving every day to Chattanooga listening to it, and I'm like, okay, okay. This shit here might work. And then I'm listening to the content, I'm listening to the production. Now, you could hear the time and the patience that they did to craft that album. And the funny thing with Killer Mike is when I was first listening to him, I really didn't like him. He was just, but I didn't really take a time and listen to the message. And then when I listened to the message, I'm like, oh my God, this dude is really, 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 really fucking good. And then I remember hearing the album, and I ran to my dog and I was like, hey, buddy, this shit here, cuz, this shit is good. I mean, it was good. The music it was just good hip hop, man, good music. It didn't matter what it was just gonna be a great album. And I knew the game needed that. So everything that I had said the album could and would do, it did. And I was really, really proud to see that. And that should have helped you wanna, if you do that type of music, then you will want to do it again. Because, it seemed like shit, man. What the fuck? It just, when you listen to music today, it just don't sound like that, you know. But it just sound like good music, and that's what I was happy when I heard that Killer Mike project. It was really good, very fulfilling, very refreshing. It just was good shit, good work, good body of work, man. Just good body of work, but especially compared to what's going on it now. Today, you got Kendrick finally doing this thing against Drake. I think that's awesome. We're gonna see where that happens. Everybody say, where would you rank those three guys? For where it's gonna be Kendrick, and then it's M, and then I gotta rank those other two, man. And I just don't think it's that, really, to be honest. I think when it comes to being an artist, I think Drake is like a Madonna or a Prince. But when it comes to rap, I don't think he's like Kendrick and Eminem. So however you want to call that, I just think he's special as an artist. I don't know if he's special as just a supreme rapper. Not to take nothing away from. Please don't think that I'm not a fan. I'm a fan. I just don't think he sits with those guys when it comes to that, like Coogee Rap, Biggie, Pac. I don't see me saying Drake in there, but I see me saying Kendrick and M. And well, M always was there, but Kendrick would be in there. but I don't think Kendrick could even talk about doing the stuff that he did as on a broad thing. Even the hits, I think it's like it's a crazy number, man. It might be like 200. How many fucking number ones that Drake got? Do you know? I think it's like 42. It's I think it's a stupid number, like 42 to 2 or something like that, or I think it's even bigger than that. But when it comes to number one hits, man, I mean nobody fucking with that man. Nobody. Nobody. None. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that and him making music that everybody love. I'm a rapper. So I love Kendrick. I don't think it's too many ever was better than him and M. Him, M, as far as the real that shit, the in and out of it, the craft, him and M, and everything else is kind of personal. It'll be I mean, knowing that they wasn't better. I like Charles Barkley, but I know he wasn't better than Michael Jordan. You know. Last thing I wanted to talk about was I was sitting back, man. Like I say, was talking about Puff earlier, and I was wondering. I was like, why nobody don't ever bring up? I be knowing them. I done been around them. Kind of rednecks be having them younger girls, but we don't never talk about that. I'm like, why we don't ever talk about that? Especially, I always see, and I know this because I manage some stupid bitch that went over his house. And I'm like, she came back, was like, wow, you'll never believe what goes on over there. And I'm like, whoo, trust me, I don't want to know because, you're going to want me to shake his hand. And I don't want to shake his hand. I said that a certain dude that did a song, hold up, I ain't never gonna run. And I really don't like him too much. But like I say, I'm not going to say no names on that type stuff because I really don't want to get my shit shut down. But I could say that and then you could figure out who it was. But like I said, I managed the dumb bitch that went and did a song with him and it did great. And then he took it down because of he wanted to be friends with Ryan and now he's not friends with Ryan no more. But that guy. But yeah, man, if anybody know, old boy used to do content with this guy named Gary Busey, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, I can't believe he's doing shit with Gary Busey. This was like right before he got big, right? I think that Gary Busey shit kind of helped him get big, actually. And it was said that, this dude was like some weird dude, man, had a lot of underage girls that was doing Snapchat and all that good shit, man. And he made money from it. But we don't really. We're gonna go and run the Puffy and everybody else, but that shit be happening in the backyard, and cats won't say nothing about that because it's one of them. And I think that's some kind of bullshit. But yeah, Buddy and Gary Busey used to have them Snapchats off the bank. He even fucking admitted in his songs about making 60,000 off of Snapchat. Yeah, I wonder how old the bitches was. You know, from what I heard, they were pretty young. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if people gonna talk about that. But like I say, man, they ain't gonna eat their young or go into it like that. But yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I just know a lot, man, and be sitting back looking at that shit and watch these cats, you know, kind of just make theyself look stupid. I be just sitting back, man, watching the show, eating my popcorn. But yeah, man, it's a lot of shit going on in 2024. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here, Bubba. Anything you gonna ask me, Bert? That's good. I think my old lady done heard her back. She just texted me. Gotcha. Yeah. How many minutes is that? That's not even an hour, is it? No. Fuck. Give me some topics that's out right now. Some alley hoops.
You already talked about Beyonce.
Meek Mills versus Academics. What I think about Meek Mill versus Academics. Man, so this probably not going to. I really like Meek Mill music. Probably one of the few. So when I heard all this, I was like, man, he might be one of the last. I do. I ain't lie. I like the Championship. What was before Championship? It was 2 albums that was really good, man. It was like 2 back to back. Wasn't it Championship and then one right after it? On the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. My heart started getting cold. Man, wow. Yeah, great album. The name of the album again?
Dreams Worth More Than Money.
Dreams Worth More Than Money and Championships. 2 great albums. Man, I don't know, man. Sometimes he probably need to. It seems like he talks too much. Like everything, he always defending himself. Everybody else is shut up. You don't hear nothing from Usher. You don't hear nothing from Cuba Gooding Jr. You don't hear nothing from these guys. You know, but man, only thing I hear is Meek Mill still defending himself. I ain't do it, and this is what I am when I walk in, and man, they got all kind of shit, man. I don't believe like they got one thing now, man, that's going around now. They got a video of of bro. They got a audio of Diddy doing Meek. Hey man, nobody's safe with this AI, dog. Think about that, dog. I heard it, man. Man. Hey, man, God, man. You know, I don't listen. For one, I do not believe that happened, man. But about listening to it, it is funny as shit, dog. Oh man, wow, AI is scary, bro. I mean, how can you beat that right now, man? You know, I mean, wow. Especially with, the nigga had fries on his laps and then he was doing the bunny hop. And like I say, man, I don't have nothing to if that's what it is, it is. But he shouldn't, if he's that, I don't think he should act like he's not. That's what the stuff I don't like, man. If you are, you are. If you're not, you're not. That's my whole thing. You know? Like, wow. I'm just surprised that if you go in and raid somebody's house, if you raid somebody's house not to arrest them, what are you doing that for? Like they didn't raid Puffy houses to arrest them. I know I'm going back and I got off the subject. It just blew me away that they admitted it. They didn't raid it to arrest him at all. Like he's walking around. He just went to Top Golf with his twins. So why did they do that?
Just to make a statement.
Yeah. So that he had going back to Puffy, man, just because it's a hot topic. And so one of the things is that just giving y'all some knowledge on the whole shit, because I know a lot that's going on. And so pretty much read the whole lawsuit, watched a lot of stuff about it, and just the stuff that's going on about like him getting out of the liquor contract. They paid him $1 billion. As soon as they paid him that money and him started calling them people racist and all that stuff, a girl came out before Cassie. This one, I forgot her name. I wish I fucking remember her name. But she came out with the first lawsuit against him. And I think she was like a early girlfriend while he was with Cassie. Nothing happened. It's still there. And then Cassie came out because that's who he was with the longest. And if you remember, she said that he was videoing on her phone. And then it was a lot of other male escorts that was in play that was saying, hey, yeah, he he paid for us to come through, and then they signed them NDAs. But when NDAs come with the feds, the NDAs go away. They gotta answer it. The NDAs don't work no more. Same reason why. What's his name? The Jumping Man, Dwight Howard was, didn't want he has had his wife sign NDAs to tell her that, he don't like booty stuff. But people in Atlanta already knew that Dwight Howard liked booty stuff. That's his prerogative. But anyway, so he had signed all that other stuff. So we don't know. It's obvious that the man is weird. At least we could all agree Puffy is weird. But we don't know what he did or what not or this and that, man. It's just a lot of stuff there. And they rated him not to arrest him. That's what I know. If they rated him not to arrest him, man, that's just, that's a lot. That's all I'm going to say, man. It's a lot. It's a lot there. So do your research, man, before you cast judgment out on people, man, because it's a lot of stuff there. And it might be bigger than Puff. Might be bigger than that, man. It seemed like he done fucked up, man. And if they want him on that sexual sex trafficking thing, I think they got him. That shit's just too easy to convict. Too easy. Too broad. If you have a girl under 17 and you go to another state, not even to commit a sexual act, man. Not even commit a sexual act. She could be in your car and y'all could go 2 feet into Jersey. He's done. That's just how it is. Fuck it. That's just how it is. That's how it's going to be. He's done with if that ever happened. And people going to say, hey, I did this and just where I was and I was over there and there you go. I had sex with him, there you go. It's even worse after they, the dick and pussy thing. But if you have any chick that's under 18 and you take them to another state and you don't do anything after that, that's sex trafficking. Period. So